Hey everyone, before I dive into this story, let me pull you into a moment that splintered my heart. For 25 years, I've loved my daughter with every breath, forging a bond I thought could weather any storm. I believed we were a team, stitched together by shared scars, laughter, and dreams. Then, one raw afternoon, after trying to shield her from a shadow I knew too well, she hurled a word at me that cut deeper than any wound. What happened next wasn't about proving her wrong. It was about rediscovering my strength as a mother, about showing a love that endures even through the sharpest pain. Stick with me, because this story is raw, real, and will hit you right in the soul. Drop a comment to let me know where you're watching from, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This one's going to stay with you. My name is Laura Bennett. I'm 58, a retired teacher living in Asheville, North Carolina, in a craftsman bungalow where the front porch groans under a quilt of fallen leaves, their crisp, earthy scent swirling in the autumn breeze, and the backyard blooms with hydrangeas, their pom-poms of blue and pink swaying, dusting the air with a faint, floral whisper. I'm not one for the spotlight. I find solace in the creak of my rocking chair, the scratch of my journal's pen, or the hum of my knitting circle, the air thick with wool and gossip. But if there's one thing that's always defined me, it's my devotion to my daughter, Mia. Growing up in Asheville's misty mountains, I learned family is a lifeline. Mom's biscuits baking, their buttery warmth curling through the house. Dad's banjo strums, a steady rhythm like the French Broad River at dusk. That's the love I gave Mia, and when she was born, I vowed to protect her from the darkness I'd known. Mia was my sunrise, with a laugh that sparkled like fireflies and a spirit fierce as the Blue Ridge peaks. I raised her alone after escaping her abusive father, James, when she was 5, his rages leaving scars on us both, mine physical, hers etched in memory. We built a life, baking pies, the kitchen alive with cinnamon, reading poetry under quilts, whispering dreams over chamomile tea, its herbal steam a soft vow. Now 25, a graphic designer. Her creativity blooms like the hydrangeas in my yard. We'd stayed close, texting daily, meeting for coffee at Battery Park Book Exchange, the air rich with espresso and old books. But last spring, a shadow crept into our bond, and one moment fractured us in ways I never foresaw. Mia and I weren't flawless, but I thought our bond was forged in fire. As a retired teacher, I spent my days journaling, the pen's scratch grounding me, but my heart was with Mia, sending her recipe cards, cheering her design pitches, the office air sharp with ink. I'd tuck notes into her bags, inked with love, and she'd bring me hydrangea clippings, their petals soft, their scent a springtime promise. But 2 years ago, Mia married Ethan, a charming lawyer she met at a gallery opening, and at first, I was overjoyed. His polished smile and quick wit seemed to match her spark. But soon, I saw echoes of James. Ethan's charm masked control, sharp comments about Mia's designs, her clothes, her time, his voice a cold edge like a blade hidden in silk. Mia, once vibrant, dimmed, her eyes darting to him for approval, her laugh quieter like a hydrangea drooping in frost. I tried to stay silent. I told myself it was her life. Marriage is complex, and she was happy, or so I thought. But the signs piled up like storm clouds. Ethan monitored her phone, his texts demanding her whereabouts, and he'd isolate her, canceling our coffee dates with excuses. The cafe table empty, its espresso scent bitter without her. I saw Mia shrink, her designs darker, her texts sparse. One night, she called, her voice trembling, the city's hum faint in the background. Ethan got mad when I worked late, she whispered, her words quivering like leaves in a gale. He says I'm neglecting him. My heart sank, the hydrangea bouquet on my table wilting, its floral scent sour under the lamplight's harsh glow. Mia, that's not right, I said, my voice soft but steel. You deserve someone who lifts you, not cages you. She hung up, the silence a wall, heavier than stone. Last May, as Mia's 26th birthday approached, I planned a special lunch to reconnect, to remind her of her fire. I invited our closest friends, Clara, my knitting circle partner who adored Mia's art, David, her mentor who saw her talent, and June, our neighbor who baked with us, flour dusting our hands. I wanted this to heal us. But a week before, Mia was colder than ever. Ethan had tightened his grip, and she stopped visiting, her texts curt, like frost on glass. I found a sketch she'd left at my house, a self-portrait in stark grays, its lines heavy, unlike her usual vibrancy, the paper crinkling under my trembling fingers. Desperate, I drove to her loft, the air crisp with pine and leaf mold, their earthy tang sharp in the mountain breeze. I found her in her studio, ink smudging her hands, the air thick with turpentine's bite. Mia, I'm scared, I said, my voice trembling, the hydrangea's scent clinging to my scarf, now faint. Ethan's controlling, sweetheart. His temper, his rules, they remind me of your father, of the pain we fled. You're fading, and it's breaking my heart. Her face twisted, her eyes blazing like a wildfire, the paintbrush snapping in her grip, its splintered crack piercing the studio's hush. Toxic! She screamed, her voice raw, shattering the pine-scented air. You're toxic, Mom. You're projecting your trauma, trying to ruin my marriage. Ethan loves me, and you're just bitter, stuck in the past. Her words were a landslide, burying my heart. Mia, I'm your mom, I sobbed, my voice breaking, tears scalding my cheeks, the hydrangea's scent bitter as ash. I love you. I see you losing yourself, like I did with James. I'm fighting for you. She shook her head, her voice icy, cutting through the turpentine's sting. I don't need your fight. She hissed, her words venomous. Stay out of my life. She stormed out, the door slamming, its echoes sharp. That night, she blocked me. Calls sank into voicemails void. Texts bounced back, her social media a locked gate. I collapsed in my kitchen, clutching her sketch, the hydrangea bouquet's petals curling, their scent acrid, my heart in shards. I didn't sleep that night, curled in my rocking chair, the creak of its wood a mournful lullaby, clutching Mia's sketch, its gray lines smudging under my tears, the hydrangea bushes swaying in the chilly dark, their floral scent sharp but fading, like a memory slipping away. Mia's word, toxic, cut deeper than her blocking me. I'd fled James to protect her, built a life of love and safety, and now she saw my warning as poison. I thought of our pie baking nights, her laughter over tea, the notes I'd inked, all cast as interference. I could have stormed her loft, begged, or let despair consume me. But as dawn broke, the hydrangeas glistening with dew, their blue pom-poms radiant against the frost, I heard Mom's voice in my soul. Love doesn't waver, Laura. It stands like a mountain. I had to show Mia my love, not to force her back, but to remind her of her worth for her, for me. So, I decided to host a Mia's Muse art showcase. Not to confront her, but to celebrate the daughter I knew, her creativity, her fire, surrounded by those who cherished her. To plant a seed she might one day grasp. I wanted to fill our home with her designs, her spirit, and hydrangea's floral vow to honor my role as her mom. The next morning, I sat at my kitchen table, the air thick with the bitter tang of cold tea, steam curling like a fading dream, the table's oak cool under my trembling hands. I chose our living room, where Mia's sketches hung like stars, their frames catching the morning light as the setting. I made a list. Quiche with bacon and thyme, its savory steam rising, apple pie warm with cinnamon's spicy embrace, chamomile tea soft with honey, and a playlist of Mia's anthems, Joni Mitchell's Tender Ache, Florence Welch's Fierce Wail. I called those who'd watched her bloom, Clara, who framed Mia's first design, David, who nurtured her talent, and my brother Tom, whose bare hugs smelled of cedar and steadied us after Mom's passing. I couldn't reach Mia. She'd blocked me. But I sent an invite through David, her mentor, framing it as a celebration of Mia's art and soul. I spent the day preparing, the kitchen alive with quiche's buttery sizzle, pie's cinnamon clouds, the clink of Mom's porcelain plates, their floral rims gleaming like spring. I hung Mia's designs, bold posters, vibrant logos, their colors dancing under fairy lights strung like fireflies, and set a framed photo of us baking, her smile a burst of light beside a hydrangea bouquet, its petals velvet, its scent a soft, fierce promise. I wore a periwinkle dress, its fabric whispering against my skin, a hydrangea sprig pinned to my chest, its fragrance a vow of love. The showcase was set for Mia's birthday evening, the sky awash of violet and gold, the hydrangeas heavy with dew, their scent weaving through the mountain breeze. I stood in the living room, my heart thudding like a river as guests arrived. Clara brought scones, their buttery warmth curling like a hug, her embrace tight. "You're a rock, Laura," she whispered, her voice thick. David carried chamomile tea, its honeyed steam soft as hope, his eyes warm. "This is her, alive," he said. Tom squeezed my shoulder, his flannel rough, his voice breaking. "You're her heart, sis." Mia arrived, hesitant, alone, her sketchbook clutched like a shield, her eyes wary, ink smudging her fingers. The turpentines bite faint on her. "Mom," she whispered, her voice trembling, the hydrangeas scent a bridge between us. "David told me. What's this?" I met her gaze, tears welling, my voice steady but raw. "It's for you, Mia." I choked, my voice cracking, the fairy lights glowing. "Your art, your fire. I love you, always, no matter what." As we gathered, I stood, my voice quaking but fierce, the design's colors blazing under the lights. "Thank you for being here," I said, tears streaming, holding up our baking photo, its frame cool in my hands. Mia called me toxic after I said her husband reminded me of her abusive father. It shattered me, but I'm here to celebrate her, the artist, the dreamer, my daughter. I love you, Mia, with every breath. Clara sobbed. "You're her strength, Laura." Tom cried. "You're both unstoppable." David added, his voice thick. "Mia, your art is magic." Mia's eyes flooded, her voice raw, shattering like porcelain. "Mom, I'm so sorry," she sobbed, tears streaming, her sketchbook trembling, ink smearing her hands. "I was wrong to call you toxic. Ethan, he's like Dad, controlling, angry, and I lashed out at you for seeing it. You were right, and I love you so much." I stepped closer, my voice breaking, tears scalding my cheeks, the hydrangea's scent sharp and sweet. "Mia, you're my world," I choked, my heart raw. "I saw you fadin', like I did with James, and it tore me apart. I'm your mom. I'll fight for you forever." She ran to me, her sobs shaking us, her ink-stained hands clutching my dress, the room hushed but warm with love. Friends shared stories. Clara about Mia's first poster, its colors bold. David about her fearless designs. Tom about our pie nights, cinnamon dusting our hands. Their words wove us back, a tapestry of love. As we ended, June's granddaughter, Sophie, scampered up, her sneakers scuffing the floor, offering a crayon drawing of me and Mia with hydrangeas, their blue vivid. "You're the best mom, Miss Laura," she chirped, her voice bright as dawn. I knelt, tears spilling, the paper crinkling. "Thank you, Sophie," I choked. "I'm trying." I'd done it, reclaimed my love, my role, my Mia, under hydrangea's floral grace. The next morning, Mia found me in the kitchen, washing Mom's porcelain plates, their floral rims glinting like a spring meadow. The air thick with coffee's roasted warmth, its steam curling like a fragile hope. "Mom," she said, her voice raw, trembling like mountain mist. "We need to talk. Last night I felt your love, so fierce, so real. I was so wrong to call you toxic. I'm sorry, and I need you." I set down a plate, the hydrangea sprig still pinned to my sweater, its petals curling but fierce, and faced her, my eyes burning. "Mia, you broke my heart," I sobbed, my voice shattering, tears scalding my cheeks, the coffee's bitterness sharp. "I warned you because I saw you fading, losing your spark under Ethan's control, like I did with your father. I'm your mom. I'd give my life to keep you safe. But you called me toxic, and it felt like I lost you." She sank into a chair, her face crumpling, tears dripping like dew on hydrangea petals, her ink-stained fingers trembling. "I know," she cried, her voice breaking raw as a fresh wound. "Ethan's controlling, his anger, his rules. It's like Dad, and I was too scared to see it. I blamed you for the truth, and I hurt you. You're my anchor, Mom, and I love you so much." I gripped the table, the plate's cool rims steadying me, my heart torn but softening. "I love you, Mia," I choked, tears streaming, my voice raw, the hydrangea's scent a lifeline. "I saw my girl, my artist, shrinking, your designs gray, your laugh gone, and it killed me. You pushed me away, and I had to learn I'm enough as Laura, not just your mom. But you're my everything." She reached for my hand, her fingers shaking, her voice desperate, pleading, thick with pain. "I see you now," she sobbed, her words heavy, cracking. "You're the strongest mom, my hero. I'm leaving Ethan. I filed for divorce. I don't deserve you, but I want to earn us back. Please, Mom." I held her hand, the hydrangeas sent a steady pulse, my heart aching but blooming. "You'll always have me," I said, my voice cracking, tears warm, the coffee's steam curling like a vow. "But we rebuild slowly, Mia. Honesty, time, love. I'm your mom, but I'm Laura too, and I'm choosing my strength." Her shoulders shook, her voice a whisper, raw and broken. "You're incredible," she said, tears falling, her eyes soft. "I want to make you proud. Thank you for fighting for me." I thought of Sophie's drawing, the hydrangeas in my yard, their pom-poms swaying in the breeze, and hugged her, our sobs blending, the kitchen warm with coffee's nutty embrace and the promise of us. Over the next weeks, my community rallied around us. Clara texted, "You're a warrior, Laura." That showcase was pure love. Tom sent a playlist of Mia's songs, writing, "You're her North Star." David called, his voice thick, saying, "You brought her home, Laura. Both of you shine." Each message was a spark, rekindling our bond. Mia moved into my guest room, sketching in the living room, her colors vivid again, the air alive with turpentine and laughter. She started therapy, her voice growing bolder, and we baked pies, the kitchen thick with cinnamon and vanilla, our talks raw but healing. Sophie's drawing stayed on my fridge, its crayon hydrangeas a beacon of our love. 4 months later, Mia asked to meet for coffee. We sat at Battery Park Book Exchange, the air heavy with espresso's roasted tang and the musty scent of old books, steam swirling from our mugs like whispered dreams, the hydrangea pin on my jacket glinting under the morning's golden light. She looked radiant, her sketchbook open, its pages bursting with color, her eyes clear as a mountain stream. "Mom," she said, her voice thick, trembling like hydrangea petals in a breeze. "Therapy's been tough, but it's helping me see why I hurt you. I was trapped in Ethan's control, and I lashed out at you, the one who loves me most. I'm so sorry, and I want to keep rebuilding us, always." I studied her, tears pooling, my heart full but steady, the hydrangea scent a sweet anchor. "Mia," I choked, my voice shattering, the coffee's bitterness sharp. "You're my everything. I warned you because I saw my girl fading, echoing the pain I knew with James, and it broke me. You called me toxic, and I had to learn I'm enough as Laura, not just your mom. I'm here, forever, but we go slow, with truth." She reached for my hand, her fingers trembling, her eyes wet like dew on hydrangeas, her ink-smudged nails catching the light. "I see you," she sobbed, her voice raw, breaking like a wave. "You're the strongest mom, my guiding light. I don't deserve you, but I'll try every day to show I love you. Thank you for never letting go." I squeezed her hand, a steady bridge, and smiled, tears warm on my cheeks, the book's musty scent a soft rhythm. "We're a team," I said, my voice soft, the coffee steam curling between us. "Always, Mia." We began anew. Coffee dates, sketching sessions, talks that bared our souls, the air warm with chamomile's herbal hug and trust's quiet bloom. It wasn't the bond of her childhood, but it was deeper, honest, and ours. That accusation, that pain, shattered me, but it set me free. It taught me that love isn't just protecting, it's truth, courage, standing firm when your heart splinters. I stood up for Laura, not to force Mia back, but to honor the mom who loves, who fights, who grows hydrangeas that bloom through any frost. As I sit here now, Mom's porcelain plates stacked neatly, their floral rims catching the sunlight, I feel her whispering, "You're enough, Laura. You always were." This story isn't just mine. It's for anyone who's loved fiercely, who's felt their bond fracture, but chose to rise, to love anyway. Share your story in the comments. How did you find your strength after a heartbreak? Your voice matters. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the next story.